Hi everyone, I'm Andreas, the co-author with John Matthews and illustrator of the Tarot of Light and Shadow. The Tarot of Light and Shadow is the first intentional double-deck tarot. This means that the tarot is split in two different decks, and the decks of course communicate between each other. They are very similar in graphic, but very different too. One is the deck of light, and so all the cards of course are light, like this one, and the other one is the deck of shadow. If you look carefully, you see that they look identical, but they are just similar. Every single card has differences. There can be different subject, different details, and all these differences are bringing more meanings into the card. They changing the color, the meanings of the card. So this means that when you read in a spread, you have different intuition of different use that allows us to go deeper in your reading, of have different way of interpreting the cards. Today I would like to talk about justice because it's one of the cards that I think is more interesting, and I would like to reveal some of the hidden references I put there when I created the cards for the first time. Let's look at the cards. This is the Justice of Light, and this is Justice of Shadows. Of course, because the cards are mirror, like every other cards in the deck, you can have directional readings if you follow this traditional reading card. So in this case, they are looking at each other's, and in this way, no, it's the contrary. They are looking in other different direction. In this way, now they are looking at each other's. And let's look closely at the card. There are little differences. One, if you look at the scale in the tarot of in the deck of light is perfectly in equilibrium, while in the shadow deck is out of balance. Then you see we have on the ground a flower. In one card the flower is open, in the other one is closed. Then we have the swords. In the tarot of light, the sword is planted on the ground. In the other one is I, like I'm ready to fight. And this ready to fight is shown by the hairstyle. Here we have a crown, and in the other deck we have an helmet. So justice is ready to fight. Um, when I have the idea of this, I mean, the source of inspiration of this card is an ancient Greek tragedy, and in the specific Antigone by Sophocles. To make a very long story very short, Antigone had to take a very difficult decision. His brother died fighting against the tyrant of Thebes, and the tyrant forbidden, with the law of the state, to give to have a burial for uh, this person that was fighting him. And but there is a law, the law of the gods, that say that every people that die has to be buried in a certain way, following certain rules. So we have two laws, two systems of law. The one is the laws of the gods, the other one is the law of the state. And Antigone is cut in between. Should I say what my tyrant, my law, the state, tell me to do, or I have to follow the gods and follow this kind of moral system? So justice for me is is a moral question. When I decided to take inspiration for Antigone and explore and go on, try to bring the concept of this ancient tragedy in the tarot deck, I did it because Antigone posed a question, and the question is very important, above all when you split the cards in two. And the question is, what is right? What is the nature of right? What is wrong? And we are very keen and very quick in deciding what is right, what is wrong in our everyday life. But we forget to understand or to remember that we decide what is right or wrong following a moral compass. And values, ideas, principles. But these values, ideas, principles are relative. They are not absolute. If you move in another culture or in another time, you will see different values and different principles determine in a different way what is right, what is wrong. So when I draw the cards justice, I wanted to represent this dichotomy, this division. try to make people think about what is right and what is wrong for them. And so in one card, you see justice in equilibrium. This is when air happens, when everything is, let's say, perfect, when you obtain justice, or when you know exactly what justice is, what the concept of that justice is. And so there is no need for fight here. You see the scale in equilibrium, the sword is planted on the ground, the flower is blossoming. Justice is sitting on her throne and look at you and is there, ready. But in the other card of justice, you see that the scale is out of equilibrium and the sword is high, is ready. This is another version of justice. Here, justice is something that you have to fight for, to obtain. So this card is telling us, are you ready to fight for what is justice or not? Are you ready to think about what you think is just? And are you sure that what you want and consider as just is really just? So when you put the two cards together, you have different use of the same concept of justice. You can use all this idea we wanted to put there when we decided with John to go and follow this, let's say, intuition of coming from the ancient Greek world or not. But if you have in mind Antigone, maybe you can have a little, let's say, clues or different ideas of how to read the two cards when they come in your reading. And I hope this can help you and have more fun when you use the deck. So if you enjoy, please follow us and subscribe to our Patreon channel. And see you for the next time.